Before game one of the NBA Finals, LeBron James did an interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols. Now, because it's owned by ESPN, I'm not going to play any of the clips. I don't want to mess with ESPN. I really don't. I'll criticize them verbally, but I will never play anything that they own because I'm concerned with that. But LeBron James in this interview said three things. You can look it up. You can watch it. I'll leave a link in the bio below. The three things LeBron James said in the Rachel Nichols interview was, one, he disagreed with the Kyrie Irving trade. In fact, he said he made a phone call. I guess she did, but we all know it's public knowledge. LeBron James made a phone call to try and stop the Kyrie Irving trade from happening. He certainly didn't deny it. Now, he also said he did not want the old Cavaliers general manager who was fired. LeBron said he did not want the Cavaliers general manager, David Griffin, to be fired. So there's two things. Didn't want Kyrie Irving to be traded. He wanted Kyrie Irving to stay in Cleveland. That's what LeBron wanted. And he did not want the Cavaliers to fire David Griffin, the old general manager. The third thing he said was that him and the Cavaliers owner, Dan Gilbert, have a, quote, I quote you, working relationship. Which is actually, I think, pretty gracious. Given everything that's happened, in the past, LeBron has referred to Dan Gilbert as his business partner. I think that's pretty generous because LeBron James and Dan Gilbert, the owner of his team, are not friends. If you remember the first time LeBron James left Cleveland, Dan Gilbert wrote an open letter to LeBron James, heavily criticizing the man for his decision to leave Cleveland. Now, in this interview with Rachel Nichols, there are three things LeBron James did. LeBron James was incredibly mature. He was mature. He was also very gracious to the Cavaliers owner. And LeBron James gave no new information. LeBron James did not say anything that should have caused any kind of drama. He did say whatever, but LeBron James was pretty good. Now, right before game one, like minutes before game one, Dan Gilbert responded to the interview on Twitter. Why? Please keep your ego in check. He did not. So Dan Gilbert tweeted three things. He made a bullet points and said these three things. He said, first of all, he praised LeBron. Dan Gilbert said, LeBron James has had a magical impact. We go as he goes. He's the leader of the ship. We go where LeBron James takes us. The second thing Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavaliers, tweeted was he credited the Cavaliers roster for their, I think, resilient, whatever he said. He's a credit to the Cavaliers roster. But the third thing that the owner of the Cavaliers tweeted in his little rant on Twitter was this. He praised the trade moves. Praised the moves by the Cavaliers general manager, the humble, quote, the humble, young, and talented general manager, Kobe Altman. He made two bold moves, and that is how we got here. We would not be here without the two bold moves made by the young, humble, talented general manager, Kobe Altman. Okay, Dan Gilbert, whatever. I just don't understand. How dense do you have to be to tweet that? First of all, I stay off Twitter. I don't like Twitter at all. I think it just gets you in trouble. And I just want to know why. Why did Dan Gilbert do this? Actually, I know why. It's because Dan Gilbert has an ego. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. He doesn't want to look bad, and so he tried to defend himself. I don't understand how a guy with that bad a judgment can become a billionaire. How and why? I guess maybe he's a bully. I don't understand. I don't know. But that was so immature. The three things that came from what Dan Gilbert did. So LeBron James, the three things were good. A positive impact. He made friends with the owner, was mature, and he gave no one new information. Everything that LeBron James said in his interview, we already knew. Now, the three things that came from Dan Gilbert's tweets were immaturity, it caused drama, and it gave us a new narrative. It just caused problems. I've said so many times, stay the hell off Twitter. It doesn't help you, especially if you're a billionaire. You have nothing to prove to anybody. You have $6.7 billion. Why are you getting into a Twitter dispute with LeBron James, your star player who you need? I don't understand. I don't get it. And first of all, you're so wrong, Dan Gilbert. LeBron James got you to the finals. It was not the trades. In fact, LeBron James got you to the finals in spite of the bad trades, in spite of the fact that you traded away a terrible trade. You traded away Kyrie Irving for the injured and not much of an impact to Isaiah Thomas. In fact, where's Isaiah Thomas now? Oh, he's not with the Cavaliers because you got rid of him. So why would you piss off LeBron James immediately before free agency, where LeBron James, let's be honest, it's not if LeBron James leaves Cleveland, it's when LeBron James leaves Cleveland. It's because Dan Gilbert is incredibly foolish. I don't understand. He should have kept his thoughts to himself. Stay off Twitter, everybody. Don't tweet dumb things. Don't tweet things that are bad for you. It's just not smart. I think this whole conversation does bring up a funny point. People always say LeBron James should not complain about his roster, which he never does, by the way. LeBron James has never once criticized his roster. He knows he can't. He's a good leader. But it's true. I mean, people always say, well, LeBron James, we can't talk about how bad his roster is because LeBron James created this roster. Did he? Did LeBron James create this roster? Because I think the roster that LeBron James had in mind must have involved Kyrie Irving, didn't it? Oh, it did. We have confirmation. And then when the Cavs general manager, when the Cavs owner Dan Gilbert said everything, apparently all the trades, according to Dan Gilbert, this is his words, apparently all the trades that went on are because of Kobe Altman. Oh, so LeBron James is not on the hook for this roster? So why do we always blame LeBron James? He wanted this roster. Well, no, he really didn't. I know it's a nuanced argument, whatever. The point is this. Dan Gilbert is so foolish. Why open a can of worms right at the beginning of the finals? Why would you do that? How did this man become a billionaire? I don't understand. I just think it's dumb. I don't think you should piss off LeBron right before. And I just want to make this point once again. When LeBron James leaves Cleveland, not if, but when LeBron James leaves Cleveland, it will be a majority part because of Dan Gilbert and Dan Gilbert's foolishness. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, as well as my best, most interesting clips. If you like Strong Opinion Sports as much as I do, help me grow this podcast by telling your friends about this show. Share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow this podcast by telling your friends. Thank you so much, and have a great day.